Watch how this single drop of water instantly fractalizes. We are taught that drinking water is just a simple response to thirst, a passive replacement. But the human intestinal tract operates as a high-demand biological engine. It is a dense, organized grid that never stops processing raw energy. Every nutrient that moves through this architectural system generates physical friction. Digestion releases chemical byproducts and a destructive force known as metabolic heat. Without active cooling, this internal temperature rises until it weakens the gut's infrastructure, triggering the sharp electrical distress signals of low-grade inflammation. Surviving this constant thermal stress requires the use of highly specialized structural hydration, a biological coolant engineered to stabilize the grid's delicate architecture. The first foundational task of this fluid is to establish osmotic pressure. This creates the baseline environment necessary for the city's biological inhabitants to function. This fluid level acts as a protective moisture buffer. It is designed to absorb the ambient metabolic heat generated during the conversion of nutrients into energy. When this buffer is depleted, the microbial workforce experiences physical compression. The resulting friction causes the system to overheat, leading to a breakdown in energy processing. Maintaining this osmotic balance is the first step toward a stable system. It ensures the metabolic engine can run without the interference of destructive internal friction. This diagram shows how high-quality water carries specific chemical data. These incoming geometric particles are dissolved mineral ions, signaling agents communicating directly with the microbiome. These minerals trigger a demographic shift within the intestinal city. They favor the growth of high-efficiency residents like Blauschia, specialized in optimizing how the body utilizes energy flux. With a workforce dominated by Blauschia, the city prioritizes immediate energy expenditure over the hoarding of calories in storage zones. This shift effectively clears the grid's energy channels of uric acid debris, neutralizing the waste residue that would otherwise ignite systemic inflammation. Specific mineral profiles function as an energetic update. They instruct the biological grid to prioritize high-efficiency maintenance over the accumulation of fat and toxic waste. To maintain the grid, we must also look at the hardware, the neural wiring and receptors that connect the gut directly to the brain. This flowchart illustrates the role of hydrogen-rich water. Molecular hydrogen acts as a signaling agent, activating TTR5 receptors that serve as the grid's maintenance switches. Once activated, these receptors trigger autophagy, the city's natural self-cleaning process. This cycle recycles damaged cellular components and clears the debris causing neuropathic pain. Dissolved hydrogen provides the signaling required for this renewal, preventing the biological grid from succumbing to the friction of age and metabolic stress. Even with routine cleaning, the city faces the threat of localized metabolic fires, chronic inflammation that embeds itself deep within the intestinal tissue. These nanobubbles are ultra-small quenching agents. Their size allows them to circulate into recessed gaps and deep cavernous folds where standard hydration cannot flow with enough efficiency to be effective. Once they reach these inaccessible areas, the nanobubbles provide a potent antioxidant effect. They actively neutralize TNF-alpha, the primary signal that indicates a localized inflammatory fire. This continuous suppression of inflammatory markers lowers the gut's basal operating temperature. This stabilization safeguards the microbial colony and preserves the long-term structural resilience of the city's deep tissue. Finally, we must examine the city's primary defense, the physical perimeter wall that separates the gut contents from the rest of the body. This wall is insulated by a protective moisture layer produced by specialized goblet cells. For this insulation to remain thick and flexible, these cells require a constant supply of premium hydration. As this cross-section shows, a drop in hydration causes the biological insulation to crack. This is leaky gut, where the perimeter fails and allows toxic waste to escape the grid and enter the bloodstream. A well-hydrated mucosal barrier is the ultimate physical seal. It ensures that metabolic energy and waste stay within the grid, protecting the host's general circulation. Consuming water is an active act of engineering your internal environment, rather than just a reflexive habit. This grid's blueprint relies on three specific tools: mineral ions for metabolic efficiency, hydrogen to activate cellular repair, and nanobubbles to suppress inflammatory heat. Utilizing these specialized fluids allows you to manage the temperature, the energy flow, and the structural integrity of your own biological city. The longevity of our internal infrastructure depends on the quality of the stabilization fluid we choose to move through it every single day.